106. It's Letty, and I am here with our girl Raye. Raye, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, first of all, I gotta talk to you. I just saw your tattoos on your arm.
Yes.
Incredible, representing everything. I'm sure this is kind of like for you to have a reminder of who you are, right? There's 3 different flags.
Yes.
Swiss flag, Ghana flag, and British flag.
Uh-huh.
Talk to me about that tattoo specifically.
It's where I'm from. It's where my parents are from. It's the blood in my DNA.
Right.
Yes.
And you know, sometimes I think, especially when you're chasing something, you need those reminders, that grounding, right?
For sure.
You said you got these tattoos on a whim. It was just like, hey, let me just run into this tattoo parlor real quick.
Do you know, I'm so impulsive. I don't plan nothing. I don't think it through, but no, I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. They look beautiful.
Thank you, girl. That's so nice.
Just like this project, okay, I listened to it through and through, and I love what a play it sounds like. You didn't just put together songs. You're curating scenes. You have a big like, you know, like the introduction, the fiend, just letting the rolling of the credits, you know, as coming up, I saw like a J. Cole do that at the end of 2014 Forest Hills Drive, right? But that made it feel more of an intimate aspect with fans. Hearing your voice say, thank you for listening.
Aww.
You know, is that the intention?
Well, I guess so. Like, you know, I've waited. It's technically been 10 years since I dropped my first song.
Wow.
So it's been a minute being an artist without an album. It's a big moment for me, and I've waited a long time. And it is so personal. I know it's my career or whatever, but it's just, it's my heart, you know, it's my whole thing. It's so personal. So I wanted to express how grateful I am as well to have made it this far in my career on the end of the album. Yeah.
I love it. And people are really, really enjoying Escapism. I think that song, you take us through different, I think throughout the song in general, right? You're taking us through different moments, through different vibes. Yeah. There's a dance appeal to it. There's a pop appeal to it. There's a soul appeal to it. And then once that end hits, you just like switch the beat on us, and you kind of take us into a whole nother, like, hey, we're about to get into a deeper kind of vibe is what I feel like. You know, when that song creation comes up and you said, like, you're the one writing it. This has been 10 years in the making. Yeah. I'm sure when it's song selection time, something about Escapism had to have stuck out to you.
Oh, for sure. It's one of my favorite songs, even just to listen to. I love it. And I love, you know, it's a sad story. If you just heard it on the piano, you'd be like, oh, damn, like, someone come and get this girl and take her home.
Right.
You know, but we put it on this beat that just helps you to elevate above that feeling. And that's what I love in music as well. Like, music is medicine, right? And I listen to music when I need to feel a certain emotion, process an emotion, elevate out of an emotion, you know, and that's what that song was for me specifically, you know, over a kind of sad personal story. Right. But yeah, it's not one thing. I love that it kind of flows, I think, in the real life pace that you maybe process things.
It definitely moves, and I think that's why I can see it be like a live play, not just because you put it in scenes like that, but the songs themselves, they have a type of showmanship aspect to it. Like this isn't just a song, you know. This is a full-on performance.
Thank you. That shit hits live as well. Yeah. It's
I bet.
Good to play.
You know, when you talk about like that's one where the beat is heavy and the beat surrounds the song. Yeah. We go to another song like "Bust It Down." That's one of my favorites, but it's vocal heavy. The range in your voice and the addition of the gospel voices behind you, you knew when to layer, you knew when to go solo, but you also knew to keep it more vocal than instrumental or than beat, right?
No drums till the end on that one. And the choir is me and my friend. We literally recorded like 500 vocals in a row doing heavy vibrato to try and get like the gospel flow in there. I grew up in the church, so that's part of my DNA as well.
Already. You know, I heard, I was watching this masterclass that Alicia Keys did when she talked about Fallen. And then she took us through the stacking of the vocals. Oh, that's what I hear when I hear a record like that.
Stop it.
No,
Don't
it's insane.
Do that comparison.
Because I'm sure, like, you know how we talked about escapism, and you're talking about things that have really happened to you, are not just the, hey, just get up and dance, you know? It's like, this is something that's happened in my life, this is how I dealt with it, and things like that. Similar in that sense, you knew what to do with Bust It Down. You knew that I'm singing Bust It Down gospel vibes. Like, you knew to mix. You're mixing feeling with message. Like, it's a different listen, but also a different message that doesn't usually go with what we're expecting of that type of a song, you know?
Yeah, like opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I love that you do that.
Thank you.
Is there
also, bless you for taking the time to listen to the music. I really appreciate that.
No, it matters. It matters because there's a reason why people have been waiting 10 years to listen to your album. And there's a reason why the reception of this album, everyone is rooting for you, you know? The storytelling, even on Ice Cream Man. The being open, again, that's not everyone has it. There's artists that are decades in the game that don't open up, that stick to a certain type of feel, certain type of song, the formula.
Right.
You took that risk on yourself to be open rather than try to go for like, oh, I know this is going to hit. Talk to me through that, because that must be a struggle. I'm sure you're getting told this is what's going to work, you know, this is what we're going to push out, but choosing Raye.
Yes. I mean, I'm in a beautiful position. I'm an independent artist now, so I can decide what music I want to share, who I want to be, and what matters. And I think, you know, when I went independent, it had to be all about removing this kind of idea of like chasing chart or whatever, chasing stats. Like, that is just so counterproductive to a creative mentality. Like, it's irrelevant. Like, and for me, I just wanted to focus on the things I can control and just passionately loving my art and my stories and telling them how I want to tell them. And if people connect to it, then that's amazing. And if they don't, at least I love it.
Yeah,
you know what
at
I mean?
least you're proud of what you've put out into the universe. Yeah. I love that about this record, and I think if anything, what you're showing is the example of that. Is the example of like true to grit. This is real feeling. This is real life, and this is what I want people to remember me by. You know, you still got me with the hits like Bed with David Guetta, like that is my shit too. But that's what I love about your range. That's what I love about the fact that you can hit us with these different records, and I can't even categorize you. I can't say what type of a genre you are. You're for everybody, and I think we're seeing that with like the Steve Lacy's of the world, you know, like even Childish Gambino with Redbone. That it can fit everywhere. That's something special. A lot of times people stick to one type of a genre, and they're screwed if that format doesn't work for them, you know? How is that? You know, like, I feel like creating in Britain is and creating in America. Now, you recorded a lot of it here, but there must be some differences in the creation process. I think well, there's definitely going to be differences. I think, like, obviously early in my career, everything I released was like dance pop kind of leaning stuff, and that's because that's what they, you know, at the time when I was stuck into the system, it was like that's what they wanted me to produce, because that's what sold. You know, in the UK and Europe, it's all like kind of tempo heavy, 120 BPM, like hooks, symmetry, 3 minutes 20 seconds, no longer, like all of that stuff, you know. And I think on this new chapter, I just wanted to kind of rebel against all of that, like even with a song like Escapism being like 4 minutes and 20 seconds long, you know, no rules follow, like a key change at the end, like a chorus with no drums, like, you know, just doing what feels right opposed to like what you think you have to do, you know. And I do feel like in the UK sometimes I was just really stuck in these molds, whereas I think our perspective of, you know, from a British perspective, looking at American artists, we're all like, wow, like you guys get to do whatever you want. That's, you know, you get to express whatever you want, especially with R&B music, you know. When I was a kid, like, and when I just signed, I wanted to be an R&B artist. Like, that was my thing. But then I was told, you know, R&B doesn't sell in the UK. So it was like, what? You know, dreams shattered in a way. Try something else, Yeah, it was like that, you know. Like, even with LMA, like, you know, a fellow Brit coming to the US to, like, have a career and it doing so well for her. But, like, back home, we're just like, oh, we should have all signed in America. Like, it's just that other thought, isn't it? But yeah, so there's definitely differences. Right. Yeah. Wow, because when I think of like UK, like the artistry there, I think so avant-garde. I think so like, wow, they're so experimental. Really? Yeah, and over here, I think it's like, wow, it's like such bubble gum over here. But it's crazy, just the perspective of each other. Words, yeah. But you having that perspective of both sides helps you just cater to both. Because a lot of times we have the artists that, even if they don't, let's say they're not as popular here, overseas the love is insane, you know, and vice versa. It could be an artist that's huge in the UK, but America would kind of be blindsided to them. I think you're breaking that where you're hitting on both of these continents. There's continents that you're going towards.
It's wild. I think that's the thing, you can never, you can't control how someone's gonna react to something. You can't you can't pay for it, you can't bribe it, you can't force it. Like, so, you know, that's my thing, is like I just have to keep focused on the things within my control. Yeah. Which is just being proud of the music and being proud of the visuals and the stories that we tell behind the songs. Like, you know, and everything that's happening now is genuinely like a shock. Like I was like, oh wow, like okay. That's
the doors are open. It almost feels smoother now than when you were like kind of just going off of other people's direction, you know? But that's because you're following just legit your purpose. You know, we talked about visuals and that is so important nowadays more than ever. People love you just as much as on social media, regardless of the music, you know? Like there must be some, like how much do you let people in on your own accounts personally versus on the music, or do they get a full you on all ends?
Oof, I feel like I'm still trying to work out how to be less open. I'm such an open book. Like I think on my, I mean, I don't really know. Like I think I'm open. I think when people meet me, I'm just like, hi, like blah 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 blah. Like let's talk. Right. You know, I'm open like that. I don't know how I come across on my social media, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I just be posting the things I need to post on there, like shoots and performances and stuff. But yeah, I try and be me as possible. Yeah.
Because even when you're listening, I think again the way that you can talk to someone that's listening is never gonna compare. Like nothing compares to that, right? Because like you can post a pretty photo, you can do a great interview, but it's in that, like, it's almost like a one-on-one. It was almost seemed very like podcast vibes, very like you're listening to Raye right now. Thank you so much. But that creates a connection that's deeper than the release, you know? Even before they've met you. That's so important. And I just think, like, beyond anything, this project is worth the listen. You're worth the championing. Escapism is out now. Yes. And talk to me about 070 Shake. I know her voice when it touches, and you know it's crazy because you did say it's a 4-minute song. A lot of songs now are like 2 minutes and that's it. And even if they were gonna try to edit that song to 2 minutes, you would miss out on some of the most beautiful moments, which come more towards the end. You know, that is a risk in itself. Talk to me about that collaborative process.
Well, I just love Shake first and foremost as a friend. She is just incredible, and I love her music. Actually, like towards the end of my like record deal, when I was going through stuff, I was speaking to her, and she's such an art first artist, you know. It's all about the art, nothing else matters, no one else should infiltrate. It's like her vision comes forward. Like her album You Can't Kill Me is one of my most listened to albums, so I'm already a fan aside from our friendship, and I just felt like I really wanted to have real friendships on this album. I didn't want to just like shout people for the sake of it, you know. Like I just wanted to feel like whoever's on this body of work, I could call up and be like, how are you? You know, I didn't want no forced energy. And so it was just brilliant when I asked her to be part of the song. She loved the song, and we got together and we worked on it out here, and it was just beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, the thing too, like with Shake, is that you're both melodic, you're both singers, you both have great voices, and you're not afraid to collaborate. A lot of times it's like it has to be one singer on a song, or else voices might get confused or any of that sort, or they feel like they're the one that has to stick out. But you even gave her like a spotlight on the song, you know, because it's not even about competing or making me sound good. It's about us creating a song together.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm so excited for all Creating the Future. I absolutely adore her, and I'm just honoured she put, you know, her art in my art, and then we put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful moment.
Yeah. It's beautiful, and it's just going to keep on coming because like we said, once you walk in your purpose, the doors are just going to open and it's going to be meant to be. We appreciate you coming through to Power 106.
Power
I know.
106. Jeez.
You came. You're a vibe. You're such sweet energy.
Thank
the
you.
album is a 21st Century Blues.
Yes.
So many songs. I can't even tell you which one to go to. Just listen to it through and through and allow yourself to get into the play of it all. Allow yourself to fall into that show, the entertainment aspect of it. Thank you so much for stopping by. Anytime. This is your house, okay?
That's so kind. Thank you, my dear.
Of course. It's Power 106.